Okay, so now that we know how to fix seams in our tiled patchwork walls we were going on about in our last video, let's go ahead and let's just build that wall down. So first I'm going to get rid of some of these test meshes. I don't want them affecting my project. That was just for demonstration purposes. So now I'm in Maya again, and I got all these windows open. So let me minimize some. There's my hypershade. I'll keep my outliner up. Actually, I'll bring my hypershade back. I'm going to middle click, drag, and drop onto that wall there. So what I need to do now is I need to go ahead and finish modeling my building here. So I'm going to duplicate. Now I have wall 02, and I'm going to snap it to the corner there, rotate it 90 degrees, and I need to account for something real quickly. I need to see how deep we decided to make my building. So 9 units deep. Well, let's see. Since we're working in half meter patches, that's actually going to be 18 units deep, or 18 patches deep, rather. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And when we did our duplicate special, we started with our single little guy right there, and then we made 10 extras. I should have only made 9 extras. So that's easily fixable. What we're going to do is we're going to go to face mode, and we're just going to drag a box on that little line there. Actually, I'm going to get this out of the way, so I'll select it. So select our initial wall. We'll go to face mode, select that whole line of faces, and we're just going to delete it. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you know what? I bet I did it to the same thing vertically. So we're just going to delete the top part there. So then why don't we just go ahead and duplicate this again. So now that we have 10 units, what we actually need are 18 units. And we go ahead and just rotate this back. So I need 18 units, or 18 patches here. I keep mixing up units and patches. So patches will be the actual model patch we're using, and units are going to be the meters. And you can see here 2 patches equals 1 unit right there. So I'm just going to duplicate this and snap it right there. And we can even count the units on our grid right here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But in Unity, we only want 9 units deep. So that means we're going to have to delete these 2 rows of patches right there. All right. All right. And I'm going to select both. Go to Mesh, Combine. Right click into Vertex mode. Just kind of select all those vertices, making sure I select the vertices on that seam. Go to Edit Mesh. Merge with the Options window. Make sure our value is really low. Hit Apply. And now we have a completely merged wall right there. And I'm going to duplicate this wall again. Now I need to, what am I going to do here? I need to flip it over. Here's a trick. Let's go to my scale on the X value and do -1. And that should flip it. And it does. But we got this weird pivot out here in no man's land. I'm going to hold D on the keyboard for dog, hold V as in vector, and snap that pivot point. Hold V again and snap it to the base of my building there. So now we have a building made. And let's think about something. Are we going to be able to see the top of this building or the back of this building from our play scene? Well, I don't know. How are we designing this level? It looks like we're going to have a fence that prevents us from getting to the back of the building. And it looks like we're going to be pretty much confined to the street view of our level. So I don't think we'll ever see the top of our building here. All right, so we're just gonna leave it as is. Later on, if you feel like you need a top to your building, you can always come in and just place a top right there. That's easily fixable later on if you decide you need to. You'll just place a little flat piece right there. But we're only going to focus on the front, left, and right of our building here. So now we have our building. Why don't we select all the pieces here, and let's just bring it to finality, combine them all, select vertex, let's select all of our vertices here. We're going to go to our merge vertices options and edit mesh, merge, and hit apply. Now we have one good complete building. Perfect. It's the exact same dimensions we wanted, and it's all merged together. No seam should be happening. Look at that perfect seam, transition over the seam, over the corner there. But we're going to do a few things to spice up this building here. First, nobody likes a hard edge, a hard 90-degree edge in our video games. I mean, look at the sharp contrast between our values here. So here's a quick way to fix that. What we're going to do is we're going to make a little bevel down the edge of this building here. And that's going to be easily done. We're not going to use the bevel tool. We're actually going to insert a line tool. So where is that insert edge? I know, okay. Insert edge loop. So go to mesh tools, insert edge loop. We're going to put one right on the corner there and right on the corner there. And I feel like I might have made them too close. So I guess we should just move them over to the closer to the edge though. So I'm going to go to edge and I'm going to double click that edge loop and it'll select all the edges on that loop there. See how it selects all the edges down? And then I'm just going to simply move that over here. Well, wait. Uh-oh. We see something here. Whenever you're modeling on top of a model that already has its UV coordinates laid out, you got to be really careful on how you edit it. You can see here that if I'm messing with this vertice here on this edge loop I've made, I can get some stretched textures. So that's no bueno. So what we need to do is we need to delete this line and place it exactly where we want it, because we can't move it later because it'll start stretching out our texture. So to delete this edge cleanly, we're going to have it selected. We're going to hold down Shift, and we're going to select the Delete Edge tool here in our little pop-up radio menu. Delete Edge. And what that does is it not only deletes the edge, but it deletes the vertices too. Here, I'll show you an example. I'll undo what I did, and I'm just going to delete this edge by selecting the edge loop and hitting delete. Well, look what we got. We got these leftover vertices hanging around. And they're just gunking up our model. So don't ever delete an edge loop or an edge simply by pressing delete. Always select your edge loop. Let me go make sure I'm in edges. Double click your edge loop to select the whole loop down your building. Hold down the Shift key. And we're holding down Shift and right click. Select delete edge and release. And it'll take care of that whole edge loop. Like so. So we need to make sure that we're going to insert a nice edge loop here. And I showed you earlier with mesh tools, we can do insert edge loop. Well, let's use that radial menu shortcut again. I'm going to hold down Shift, hold right click, and there's our insert edge loop tool right there. We don't even have to go to the menu up top. Perfect. So I want to get it a little bit closer. Notice I now have it in a closer position to the edge here, and it doesn't mess up with any of my vertices. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to press spacebar, and now we're in our 4-quadrant view. Let's get rid of my outliner for a second. And what I want to do is I want to view this corner from an overhead view. So I'm going to select this corner of vertices here, and in my top view, I'm going to press F, and now we zoom in to this corner here. And what I want to do is I'm going to take this corner, and notice what I'm doing in the top view, and notice how notice the perspective view, and see how I'm changing it here. There, I've added a nice bevel. We don't have a hard 90-degree angle anymore. And I didn't even have to use the bevel tool. And look how much more of a perfect transition we have here. Look at this edge versus that edge. Sharp, nice and soft. It's great. It's perfect, right? So let's do the same thing to the other side real quick. I'm going to hold down Shift, right click. Where's my insert edge loop tool? I'm going to make sure I'm in object mode for one. And I'm going to be in object mode to make sure I can get to my insert edge loop tool. I'm going to click off of it. Or do you have to be in edge mode? Oh, I guess you have to be in edge mode. That's something new in 2016. So first, get in edge mode here. Now hold Shift and right click. Now we can go to insert edge loop. Get that edge loop right on the corners here. Perfect. And then again, I'm just going to select those top vertices. I'm going to go to my top view here, press F to zoom in, and just move it in like so. Create a nice beveled or rounded edge like so. All right, great. All right, so we've got our building made. And in our next video, I'm going to show us how we can go in and model in some damage to our building here. And that's going to take some extra texture work and a little bit of tricky modeling so we don't mess up our pre-existing UV layout. So I'll see you in the next video.